When I
But
do, it's
you'd
never
think that when
recorded.
you were just speaking earnestly that, like, it would be at least...
Sometimes. A lot of
Surely-
times I feel I can't find words, you know, or I'm just out of my depth. Sometimes it flows really well, then sometimes it doesn't.
But as long as you're doing the best you can, that's alright.
No, but the only
It
reason...
doesn't matter if you're not fully informed.
No, but it's not about... It's about, like, having the idea, not being able to say it.
Ah, yeah. What was your initial point about it? It was like, it's not necessary. It's just like an arbitrary style that isn't necessarily directly correlated to internet speech or something.
Yeah. I just think it's like... It is very... just... It's just like a very specific style. Which I think...
Okay.
the only reason I'm so critical of that is because of how... Like, it's caught... I feel like it's caught on like it may... Like, it necessarily relates to the kind of... the movement or something. Like, that kind of writing. Which I just really feel like is almost... Tao Lin's style, like his kind of style.
But see, I don't think it's direct. I don't think it's all Tao. For one thing, I think that there is like a homogeneousness to the group. Not homogeneous. Like there's a variety within the group. Like there are certain. I mean, I've just been reading more of them recently, and like there are certain quite universal trends, but there are also individual little styles that aren't necessarily strictly Tao or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But I honestly feel like it's mainly to do with like the sincerity, or like even though it feels like he's probably being very sarcastic and ironic at times, I feel like the main thread between all of it is like sincerity, and like just like you know, the subject matter is often real events, like just making sense of real events that have happened to all these people.
Mm.
And,
But it's
and the
often-
way that like people like, you know, the fact that they post the G chats and the tweets, it relates to like I think it's just the instantaneousness of online interaction, and the fact that you can instantly, very earnestly express whatever you're thinking at a particular time. I think that is expressed in the texts.
Right.
Some of the texts.
So like how like it's kind of blunt. Like often the writing is blunt, and
Yeah.
like
Affectless is
unembellished.
the word that people use a lot, which I think is true. Like, yeah, it's often just like quite plain. But it's funny how like there's still adjectives. It's not like there's no adjectives or anything, but it feels. Yeah, very. It's kind of eerie. It feels quite plain or something. Which I find intriguing. It's not inexhaustible, but I find it intriguing. Often they're just like stories about the people's lives, I guess. What was your... Do you remember when you read Tape High, like what your feeling was? Type A? I did it again. Do you remember the last time I was here?
I liked it. I do like it.
That's different again, but that's not... People don't imitate that, necessarily. That's like another development of his style.
Yeah.
Richard Yates is like the classic.
See, Richard Yates, to me, is sort of... God, I can't really remember either of those books.
I mean, I love...
All I remember from either of them is just like an impression, which is like Richard Yates is more like sort of harsh to read.
Yeah, like I mean, I kind of loved that not in like an enjoyable way, but I found it very intriguing and like, yeah, very sad.
Yeah, see, like
But
that.
also very
the
interesting.
impression it left is like I like it, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But when I was reading it at the time, I don't think I particularly liked it, even for that reason. But like, I still remember it sort of fondly.
And I guess I also was like later on he sort of said things about how Like, look, yeah, he knows that he was being a bad person. Well, it's like, I find it very intriguing that he's just so open about, like, he published a book and he got, like, he sold shares of the royalties of the book to, like, fund the book and stuff. Like, he's so kind of legit about trying to make it with the writing. But then it is just very much just, like, dealing with his own emotions and his own memories. Like, making sense of it. It's very interesting. There's no veil. Like, it's meant to be about being a person, I guess. It's not very authorly in the sense of, like, conjuring up an imaginary escapist kind of scenario. It's really just, like, stuff that happened, which I find intriguing on some level. I mean, yeah, it's not without its faults.
No, I do like it. I do like it. I mean, I don't know. I liked it.